Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM22 story, The Head Coach with me, Daniel. It's part 24 today and we are back with Dover Athletic and we're in form, but we're playing the pre-season favourites Maidstone at the top of the National League South and we've got a big problem, and a big problem defensively. We also face Hemel Hempstead Town, of course the side we're managing in our one club story this year. You can find the link to that playlist up in the eye above if you haven't seen it yet. And it's the start, to be honest, of what should be a more friendly run of fixtures from that point onwards. However, as you can probably see from the result in the last game, albeit I was delighted with it in the end, we'll see why in a moment, we've got some big problems, and it boils down to the style of the head coach. The challenge of a director of football model means we have just lost one of our best defenders and there is no sign of a replacement. So if you're looking forward to finding out what's been going on, why I'm so worried despite a good start to the season, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily FM22 content from two long-term stories. We'll be back with Hemel Hempstead tomorrow, just after we've played them in this one today. And you can find all the other playlists, the Twitch channel for regular live streams, and much more up in the eye above. But let's start with transfers, because it's been a really mixed bag. I can't fault anything our director of football's done in terms of signing players. He signed very good ones. But we are leaning towards now having a very imbalanced squad. You can see we've got an injury to left back Jaden Sweeney. And given another sale as well, we're actually in dire straits defensively, while better than we've ever been going forward. So let me show you exactly what I mean, and you'll probably be able to match it up to the form you've witnessed. We go to the transfers, there's potentially another 17-year-old coming in, the head of youth development really trying to fill that squad. But let's have a look at the transfer history, because that's where I'm more concerned. So, a few signings since the last episode. Most importantly, two first-teamers that are going to make a difference. However, the one out is a disaster. Michael Forbes goes to Linfield for $15,500 up front. He was our best central defender. He'd signed a contract, he was tied down for next year, and now he's gone. I know he's Northern Irish, I know Linfield are professional, they're one of the big sides in the league, but still, to lose a player of that quality, the best central defender at the club, and not even look to try and replace him with any quality is scary. So we were already one down, we were relying on either a youth player or a new backup signing who are going to be able to cover at central defence. Let's look at the ones that have come in though. Joshua Squires was being negotiated in the last episode. He did end up coming in. He is a central midfielder or defensive mid with 3-star ability. Played 5 games, not been fantastic, but has done a solid job and has been really consistent in the middle of the park. The next one is Thomas Dickens, who is a youngster. It's a 16-year-old striker who comes into the youth team. We've then got Sam Yates, another one of that mould, 17 years of age, drops into the under-18s, now out for 3 months. Then we've got Caelan Avenel, who is playing a lot more than we expected. 5 appearances, one of those for us, but will play a lot more now. He is a 19-year-old centre-half with 1.5-star ability. And at the moment, he is the joint second best centre-half at the club. And he's one of 2 options to play alongside our other central defender. Which, considering we had Michael Forbes at the start, that ain't going to win us a title, is it? But finally, the player who's just come in is Harvey Nibbs. Now, he's a brilliant signing. 3.5-star ability striker. Again, a bit like Adabomi, who we've got at the moment, is very good in behind, is quick, is a good finisher, is also good in the air and pretty tall too. But that now leaves us with 4 exceptional attacking midfielders for 3 slots, and 2 defensive positions where we've barely got a player good enough for this league, let alone to try and win it. So there's a real lack of balance in the squad. There's some concerns for me. I feel if we end up in a position where we're playing that back 4 regularly for a month or 2 or even 3 months, we aren't going to come close. And considering we've got to win the league this year, there's more pressure on us to succeed. But we've got goals going forward, which is always a positive. The one thing I do want to talk about a little bit, and we'll leave the main bulk of it off camera, but for the first time after that defeat on the opening day because of the pressure, I actually went back on and I watched the full game highlights to see what had been going on. I found a couple of tactical tweaks we could make, and the data hub wasn't available yet because we hadn't played 3 competitive matches. But if you're struggling with tactics in FM22, aside from the near post corners, like you see I'm creating loads of chances but not winning games, I would encourage you just to watch one match on full match highlights because it made such a difference. You can see that from the results we've had since we made the tweaks. We'll talk about those in a moment, but it was 4 pretty convincing wins, followed by us really missing a centre-half. So we lost 1-0 at Weymouth, you all know that. We backed it up though with a 2-1 victory against Hampton and Richmond. Kadua and Ness getting the goals. Ness, front post corner, absolutely loved it to win us the game. A 4-1 win at Oxford City, a hat-trick for Adabomi and one for Ness, again a set-piece header as well. A 2-0 win against Welling, the first of 2 games in 2 days. Adabomi and Friel scoring the goals there. We made a few changes against Wealdstone and we got away with it because they were knackered as well. It was the first game after Forbes left, but a youngster came in and did all right. And Smith and Adabomi, who just can't stop scoring, have really produced the goods for us. I am worried by the fact that Nibs has been signed and Adabomi still hasn't signed a contract. Is it going to be a matter of time before we lose him? 9 goal contributions in 6 games. We probably can't afford to, because away at Chippenham, we were 3-0 down after 48 minutes. We were 3-0 down and a man down after 75 minutes because Sweeney, if I go into the match, came off injured in the 72nd minute after we'd made our 3 changes. At that point, I got absolutely furious. We were getting tanked on the stats. We weren't playing well. So do you know what I did? I said, I'm not even going to move it. Just press continue. We had no left back. And then goals started flying in. We went attacking. We chased it. We saw what happened. And we were unfortunate not to win in the end. Their keeper made a couple of blinding saves in stoppage time. Adabomi, Smith off the bench, who's looked great when covering on the right wing, and Matt Everett were the men who got us back on terms. But definitely away form a little bit of a concern. We'll see if that continues against Hemel today. But the home game against Maidstone, the pre-season favourites to win the title. One of only 2 teams when we joined the club that the media had finishing above us. We've still got a little bit of quality in the side. We've got TJ Bramble back from international duty. Someone who missed the last 2, which didn't help us either. But we are patched together here. We've been talking about what we can do at the back to make it as stress-free as possible. Because with Sweeney out, our choices at left back basically are Johnny Lai, who is 2.5 grade out stars. There's one in the youth team who's 3 grade out stars, but even worse defensively. We've got Lucas Ness, who could play out there if we were really desperate because he's tall, he can win headers at the back post. And we've got Dan Cowan, who is a right back who can switch over to the left if possible, and Bramble drops in at right back. There are options. So at the moment, you can see which one we've gone for. It means we're playing another young centre-half, a youth player in the first team. Great attitude, which is why I've edged him over the others. And he's a good tackler, but not going to win much in the air. And probably not the best centre-half at the club. And then Avenel is there on the bench if we need him. 6 foot, but apparently not as big in the air or jumping. And really poor physically. So I'm going for pace. I'm going for determination. And I'm hoping that'll carry us through. And that soon, surely he has to give us a centre-half. How can he look at that team and not spot that defence is where he needs to prioritise? I don't know. Nibs joined yesterday. He's not match fit, so he'll be on the bench for this one. But if we get into a position where we need to make any more changes at the back, I'll just say it now, we are screwed. The team for today, though, is Hall in goal. Bramble and Cowan, the fullbacks. Cowan playing in an ineffective position. Youth player Fidley alongside Lucas Ness as centre-half. We've got Hanson, Squires and Free on the midfield 3. Hanson's unhappy that a centre-half has been sold in Forbes. I've promised him that a replacement will come in because surely it will. We've got Kadua on the right wing, Everett on the left wing, Adabomi up front. And at the moment, he is the man saving us. But in Harvey Nibs, he might now have some help joining. Let's skip ahead to the first game against Maidstone. Fingers crossed, we can hold the favourites. Well, the only change for us from the Chippenham game is the enforced one. The first choice, solid left back out injured. Bramble in a skipper on the right. And he is a big character as well, which will help us out. And Cowan at left back, I don't know how he's going to get on, but hopefully he can put in a better performance than I'm expecting. 3 changes for Maidstone. The likes of Billy Cracknell come in at the back. They've also got some quality up front. But I think this is going to be a difficult game for us, to be honest. Zach Brown is the skipper. I had him in my mobile save with Hungerford last year. I hope he's not as good here as he was in that one. But let's tell the lads we want to be impressed. Go and put on a show. And anything other than a defeat, I will take at this point. If we can get a positive score, and if we can keep a clean sheet, it would be a miracle. As Cowan's got a throw on the left to Matt Everett. We still got the attacking quality, so we might have to try and outscore the opposition here. We'll talk a little bit between the 2 games about the tactical tweaks we've made, because I don't want to sing their praises until we've played the best team in the league on paper. As Bramble gets down the right-hand side, good run from him. Kadua to the byline, into Adabomi. Head just over the bar. Looks like a good crowd here at the Crabble, and looks like a decent performance so far. We haven't been tested at the back though, as a free kicks into the back post. The set-piece training is working. We spent so much of pre-season on it, we didn't get to see the rewards at Weymouth. But now these players have had a few weeks, they're really delivering. Kadura at the back stick, the man who was wanted by EFL clubs in pre-season. But he's here for now, he's in at the back post, and he gives us the lead with a crucial goal. As Sargent takes a big goal kick for Maidstone, they've got ability up there and they've got height. Although it's good goalkeeping from Hall, sweeps up, clears to Everett who finds Adabomi. Got support but goes back to Fidley. Not pressing high here Maidstone at all, and Everett can work down the left as a result. Got the fullback in Cowan, who's so far actually been really good out there, but we're only 20 minutes in and Maidstone haven't got going, so I don't want to get too excited. Fidley releases Squires. Gotta say, as Kadua's in again, oh, we'll take that. That is the first moment of real genuine quality we've seen from Squires on loan, and Kadua is having a wonderful game. And that's the beauty with this front three, and with Nibs coming in now too. We've got 4 or 5 players at any given time who can produce a match-winning performance. As Everett takes a free kick again, Adabomi's header saved, and Ness is offside from the rebounds. It might have even been Adabomi who was off, but it doesn't matter. We're playing really well. We've got match winners going forward, and I feel confident we'll score in most games now, particularly with the tweaks we've made as Kadua crosses again. Good save by Sargent. But we've got to fix this defence. It's okay that Cowan's doing all right today and that Fidley's a good player, although he's missed that one. Flaherty's in. There you go. That's why we need centre-half replacements. Fidley has had a good half an hour, good 40 minutes, then makes a stupid mistake. Misses a header, costs us a goal. That's what we can't afford. As Everett chips a free kick in. Oh, he went for goal. It looked like he was shaping up for a cross, a whip delivery. And he almost caught the keeper out and me. Half-time, 2-1 Dover. What's annoying is there's been no threat on our goal, and it's a defensive error from the youth player that's cost us. But we haven't got anyone else at centre-half. How can we blame him? He's not ready to play at this level, and our director of football's forced it. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt that Nibs only signed yesterday, but if the next signing isn't a good centre-half or left-back, I think we're in trouble, because Maidstone, they can't play worse than the first half, and they're going to have a goal threat here. As Cracknell goes to the other centre-half, they might as well just go long, because we're so weak up there. Instead, they're trying to play football, and in a way, that might suit us. As they go long over the top eventually, Fidley wins this one, but doesn't really get the height on the clearance. Doesn't get the distance either. Falls for Taylor on the left-hand side. Takes on his man, beats him with ease. I think it was Bramble chasing there. Into the back post to Manley. Cowan wins the challenge. He's not given a penalty for that. He clearly won the ball. And Maidstone are going to be back on terms. This is the problem. We said we look great going forward. Can Hall be a hero? He can't. I mean, he dived out the way before it was taken. We look like we're going to concede 2 or 3 every game all of a sudden. And it's just because of that sale and that injury. And we've got no depth behind it. And in a game like this, where we've been phenomenal, we look great going forward, we should have enough to win the game with 2 goals. I know that penalty decision was harsh, but it's Cowan and Fidley who have made the 2 mistakes. And that tells you where we need to improve. As the ball's cleared away to Manley, I think we'll go and lose this game now. We saw against Chippenham in reverse what momentum can do. And Maidstone are going to take full advantage, I'm sure. To the back post where Bramble heads clear. Excellent work from him. Kadua to Squires, up to Adabomi. Switches left to Everett, who's knackered but still running hard. Gets to the byline, there's 2 in the middle. One of them, Squires, heads over the bar. Please, this is the real frustration of a director of football challenge. We are 2 defenders away from winning every game, as Bramble and Fidley have one off the line there. 20 to go. Maidstone score their only 2 shots on target. And despite our brilliant attacking performance, we don't deserve to win because they're individual errors. What I am going to do now is make a couple of changes, and it's something I've wanted to try for a few games, and I feel like this might be the opportunity. We've got in McCarthy a solid centre mid. So I'm going to replace Fidley with Hansen, a centre half, who is better back there. I'm going to drop Squires into the holding role. He can play as an anchorman or a deep liar, but I'm going to leave it as is for now. And we're going to replace Fidley with McCarthy and just keep it like that. I feel it might give us a bit more solidity. I feel it might make us a bit more useful going forward too. I'm also going to take off Adabomi, who's not had the best game, and Harvey Nibs will go up front for him. 20 minutes to go, 2-2 is the score, but all the momentum's with the visitors, though Everett picks it up on the left from the throw-in. Good ball in for Kadua. Oh, how's that not gone in? Great tackle at the back post. It falls into the keeper's arms. And I'm astounded that we've not managed to retake the lead. But at the end of the day, it's defensive errors that we knew would be coming. and we need our director of football to deliver, because at the moment, these changes are going to cost us the league. I know we've beaten Wealdstone, who are at the top, but I don't trust us now with this team to win defensively. I wouldn't be shocked if we went 10 games without a clean sheet. So let's see what we've got in 3 days' time. Just let there be an offer for someone. Well, we have reached Tuesday night with no offers for anyone. I'm going to have to look in the youth team today because we are running out of defenders fast. And even though there are some positive lights, which was, where it pops up with the scouting meeting and who the best player was, that was a centre-half. So maybe he's looking. But unless there's an offer, it doesn't matter how many he scouts. We need one of them in this football club, and we need them now. We can probably... Well, we're going to have to get through this game. But by the time we get to St Albans in, 11 days' time, there's got to be some sign that he's making a change. Let's have a look at the lineup for this game. We go away to a side that are really struggling in the National League South. A side that we're obviously managing in a one-club story. It is in the eye above if you want to see it. But we're going to have to think very carefully about our tactics for this game because there's going to be a few tired legs like Josh Squires in the middle there. And we need to do something defensively. We'll be back in a moment once I've decided. Well, I've looked in the youth team and I don't feel it helps us much. So we're sticking with the same thing defensively. Squires drops out of the squad entirely. Zach Smith starts. Elam's onto the bench. I've left Nibs on the bench again just so he can build his fitness. He'll definitely start in the FA Cup game at the weekend. But that's what we've got. One change. Defensively, we're still all over the shop. But the performances are good. Going forward, we look like we're always going to score. What we've got to do, particularly against these sides in the bottom half of the league, is consistently outscore them. And I'm reliant on the front three and a couple of subs in those positions to, fingers crossed, do just that. So Hemel Hempstead managed by Michael Clegg now, formerly on Manchester United Monopoly of about 99-2000, ironically. Don't ask me why I know that information. Brad Hills, we had on loan at Ballymena in our Twitch stream series last year. He's at centre-half. He's a good player. Far better than any of ours. I'd be happy to have him at the club. Benham Williams is a really good left winger. He's going to give us a tough game as well. The likes of Kyle Ajayi still there on the bench. Kyron Wiltshire from neighbouring St Albans was a big player in that FA Cup game we watched the other week in real life. It's a good side, but there's not many originals left there. And that's going to make this a lot more unpredictable. We're going to pump the fist, ask the lads to prove a point. But the truth is, we've got to score 3 or 4 to win a game. In the last 2 games, we've scored 5. We've not won. We know we need more goals. And early doors, we've got a throw in by the right corner flag. Bramble throws it in towards Fiddley. We did go for a slight long throw tactic there. It's not something I think we'd set up, so I'm not sure why it's come into play. As Ness picks the ball up in his own half to Cowan. Can play down the line to Everett. We gave him a little rest in training to make sure he was fit tonight because he's such a crucial player for us. As Smith gives it to Friel, turns inside his man, finds Everett. Got support outside from Cowan, but he's got no left foot. He's having to cut in. Friel plays out to him again. Can Everett get on the ball? He can't. It's back to Zach Smith. Please get some width. Find the ball. Smith, he's got Kadua with him. Goes alone though. He drifts wide. There's 4 in the middle to the back post. Everett heads just over. Good football to start again, but no sign that we're going to be any better defensively. Fingers crossed, Hemel Hempstead don't test us much. And we're back again with 16 minutes on the clock. In possession down the left-hand side. Everett gets towards the byline. Chance to cross from the left. Kadua's up at the back stick. Heads over the bar. Him, Adabomi, and of course Everett on the left. All 6 foot, all imposing. But no one's putting one away. And in a game where we've not been threatened at the back, you feel we've got to take these chances. As we get to the half an hour mark, if I show you the tactical tweaks we've made, as well as sticking positive, we've actually decided now to whip our crosses. The low ones just weren't working, and we've got a tall team. We shouldn't be playing low. We're playing a little bit wider, but the most important one is we've put on this work ball into the box, and it really has made us more of a goal threat because we're getting chances in the width of the penalty area. And that's something we didn't have previously. So I feel like that's made the biggest change of all. And it's only a slight tactical tweak. We've not done huge amounts of work. But it really has made a big difference to this side. Until today. Chances going begging. Hemel Hempstead thankfully not testing our defence. But we have to win. At half time though, despite 16 shots, 8 on target, 63% of the ball, we're 0-0. We've not taken the chance. And I feel like this might be the sort of day where we need a new signing like Harvey Nibbs to become a hero. Particularly when we haven't got the defensive prowess. We've got to score goals. And if the odd game we do keep a clean sheet and we don't win it, it will be absolutely tragic. So we've got to the hour mark. There's not much going on here. Let's get Adabomi off. We're going to replace him with Harvey Nibbs. We need a goal. We need something very, very special. We're going to demand more because it's not been a good performance. No reaction. We're going to take Friel off next, who's not been great. He'll be replaced by McCarthy. And I'm going to take off, I know it's a risk, but I think we might take off Fidley and bring on Avenel just to make sure we've got fresh legs at the back. 15 minutes to go. I'm going to go attacking. I'm going to encourage, see if we get a reaction. Because we've had 28 shots, 12 on target. Our expected goals is over 2.5. And now the left wing is injured and we're down to 10 men. If that injury to Everett is bad, we're in big trouble. What a frustrating day at the office. As soon as I said those words, we look like scoring every game. And then this happens. 95 minutes, 13 shots on target, no goals. Absolutely infuriating. It's now 3 draws in a row, including these 2 on camera. And it's not been the most convincing start. It is a friendly run of fixtures coming up now on paper, but that was the first of them. And while we played well, we didn't take our chances, and that is very unlike us. So are we going to be inconsistent? Thankfully, we've only got 1 to 2 days out for Everett. But the truth of the matter is, yes, we're going to have odd games like that. Yes, we're going to be able to score goals for the most part. But as the 2 games before it proved, Chippenham off camera and Maidstone, the first game in today's episode, if we do not get fresh recruitments on the left side of that defence, it is going to be a very long season. Our director of football has massively let us down by selling Forbes. Look how good we were before it. I just felt with him we were title winners. Now it's going to be a strain. We're going to leave it a couple of months before we come back. Try and get on a little roll here. I guess it will depend on FA Cup fixtures. If we can get through, get a big National League side in the 4th qualifying round, or maybe even get to the 1st round, will show that. But for now, a lot of work to be done, and hopefully the majority of it in a transfer window by the director of football, because the left side of that defence is not winning a National League South title. We need a centre-half regardless of injuries. We need depth to cope with them, because at the moment, I feel like it's letting us down. And our director of football, Kevin Wilkin, I sung his praises. He signed good players, but I need more from you, Kevin. You've got the budget, go and do it. If you did enjoy this episode, a very frustrating one for different reasons. Brilliant going forward against Maidstone, but silly errors at the back from the players we knew were weaknesses before the game. And then against Hemel, we did everything but score. You can't ask for much more than that. If you did enjoy it, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know down in the comments if we can do anything to cater for the missing players, or the fact that we haven't got 2 good centre-halves at this level. What do you suggest? How can we fill the void? Do we do what we did at the end of the Maidstone game and drop in the holding midfielder? Or do we just accept we're going to lose the odd game as a result? If we can stay in the mix until Christmas and a couple of players come in, I still think we're in a good position. If you want to stay up to date and find out, please do subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on. This one will be back in 2 days' time. In the meantime, we're back with Hemel Hempstead, the side who just held us there. We've got our one club story with them, and you can find anything you've missed from it up in the eye above. But a massive thank you for watching, your continued support as always. It really is greatly appreciated. If you haven't yet, do come and follow us on Twitch. You can find a link in the eye above. And I'll see you next time, as hopefully we'll be able to get on an FA Cup run. But more importantly than that, and crucially to our title bid, we better have a new defender.